The earliest memory definitely gonna see Marcelo Garcia against Rico Rodriguez. Took a lot of my attention for the fact it's a smaller guy is beating a massive guy.
Marcelo Garcia is obviously one of my favourite grapplers, probably one of everyone's favourite grapplers. When you think of ADCC, you think of Marcelo Garcia.
I think literally the first time I watched ADCC was the 2019 one. 2017 was the first year I started. I didn't even know what jiu-jitsu was. So 2019 was the first time I watched it, and I remember being like, whoa, what is this? Like, this is so like extra and cool, and there's so many crazy characters in there that are like just incredible. So
Galvao, I remember watching him in the division, obviously winning like the double gold and stuff.
My friend Braulio Estima winning ADCC Spain in 2009, almost submitting everyone with like a unique techniques like a reverse triangle, Galvao in the final. Well, for the fact that I was training with him, I kind of helped him out a little bit in the camp, and I had that close contact with someone that made it. You know? And I knew the road would be like long to be able to catch up to that level, but as I'm getting older now, things starting to make sense, things start getting together. That's how I feel.
It's different to a lot of other events because you have to rather be invited or win, right? There's 8 invites and they're reserved for the past champions, medalists, and the top of the sport. The other 8 have got to grind out to win their spot. You know, there's only 2 athletes per weight division from each like region, you know, so it's obviously hard. So I think it's just special because it is the best people in the world.
So we are at Los Banditos gym in London. We've got all the trials athletes that train in the UK.
As we here in Europe, there's not many in quantum of like people competing at the highest level. So I think it's fair enough to, you know, we get together and try to make the most out of it. We need each other, and then competition is just it's not what defines us.
I travel a lot to train anyway. Like I train with a lot of other good black belts. I'm going to be traveling more. Get better training and different training up until ADCC.
The main thing for me is the stand-up, because I'm very predominantly a guard player. Obviously ADCC is heavily stand-up, so I think that's going to be one of the huge focuses for me, is just making sure I'm confident on my feet, feeling like I have like a game plan there, working on like counter wrestling with that, and then obviously heavily looking into heel hooks and defenses and stuff like that, so that you don't get caught out with something silly, you know.
Yeah, to be honest, my preparation maybe it would be very different than people are doing currently. I only train like pretty much jiu-jitsu once a day. I know people like to put 2 or 3, even 3 sessions a day. Maybe if I do 1 jiu-jitsu, I do 1 workout, and trying to do those sessions in the most smart way, like when I'm training on my feet, you know, like my takedowns, passes, and guard passes. Defense as well, I try to every day like add 1 point in one of those subjects, and it's pretty good. I know my weakness, I know my strong point, so I'm always trying to correct and balance everything out the best way possible to be ready for the Worlds.
Yeah, it was a great day for me. I was going for a really tough time previous, for like the last year before that. I had no gym to train at, and I was just training out of my friend's warehouse, like with a few of my students. Couldn't earn any money, couldn't really do anything. But then I guess that gave me a lot of time to really focus on training and not focus on teaching. So it was just nice that all of that was worth it, all the sacrifice.
I had very little emotions, which was very unlike me, because if anyone's ever seen me, I'm usually like super bubbly. And then when I won the final, I remember like just kind of being frozen and like running to my partner and being like, can you just please punch me? And like I wasn't even like joking. I was like, I genuinely feel like I've been knocked out and I'm in that weird phase where I'm asleep and I think I've won and I don't actually know. And I think that continued for like a few hours before I was like, okay, oh, it actually happened. So yeah, it was huge.
I was thinking about my career, if I would be able to make for ADCC one day. Another thing was how hard that bracket was. You know, like 10, maybe 15 to 20 guys, they had a chance to win the trial. So I never seen like a bracket like that before. And I managed to get through like many good guys that been to ADCC before. Take this weight out of my shoulder, I made it. Now I'm gonna compete the Worlds and as well be able to win at such a hard brackets. Like I was speechless for a little while after the victory, and then yeah, it's gonna happen.
I don't even think it's about winning, because there's people who have won ADCC and no one really cares about them. It's about how you win. It's about the performance, right? So we have an opportunity to go out there and really try and perform well and give everything and be exciting for the fans, and that can change your life. For example, someone like Lachlan, I know he got bronze in the open weight, but he didn't win, but he was just like completely blew everyone away, and that probably changed his life, that performance, you know? That's all you need. You just need to compete well, do something exciting, do something that people want to see and want to learn, and then that can change your life. So I'm just going to try and go out there and yeah, make a statement.
I think the word that comes to mind is like humbling. When you have this image of like, one day I'm going to fight those people, you put them on a pedestal and you imagine that you'll be on that pedestal. And then when you get there, you're like, oh, I'm still the same person. I'm still just me. We're all just humans trying to do stuff, and like jiu-jitsu is really hard, but it's also really fun, and we're all just trying to give our best. So I think I feel very like excited and also like humbled that like I get to show that to the world against some of the greatest.
Through many years competing, like I managed to achieve like ticking some boxes that you always visualize yourself winning the Worlds, IBJJF Worlds. You always visualize yourself winning the Worlds gi, no gi, and ADCC, which would be in an above scenario of those competitions that I mentioned. Brazilian Nationals, which I done 2 times, Europeans, Worlds I got second. So it's always in that line until there's the Olympic of the sport, like we always say, which is ADCC. So imagine you can achieve all those kind of titles and not be able to even compete at ADCC. Would be you not fulfill your dreams, let's say. But it's happening this year, and then athletes are going to be there, you know, and I'm looking for how my body, how I will perform. Seeing myself competing in that tournament, how can I deal with that type of situation? How can I resolve the problems going to happen there? So I'm excited for that part.